people.
Aztec. Okay.
Aztec tongue. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Very, very ancient.
Umberto Alvarez.
No just a little.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, this is a song about our heart. My heart, little heart, I love you, little heart of mine, and pure and transparent heart. I love you. You are in my veins, in my blood. That's the translation.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
I want to share with you one of my songs.
Yeah.
I want to share with you one of
How
my
was
songs.
your birthday? Your song?
God, it was very good. It was good. We had a
Thank
good time. Yeah, it was a good time. I'd like to share with you one of my songs.
Oh, real? Yeah, come on.
All right.
Go ahead. Yes,
And,
I love to hear it.
And I don't know if I don't think you were on the show when I shared. This is the newest one. All right, hold on. Let me go get it. It's right over here. I'm working on it.
Sure. No lloro, sí, de nuestra son.
Okay. This is this one I wrote with someone else. I co-wrote it.
Okay.
And we have the music, and it was played by a choir at a church. And then it was beautiful. They did it beautifully. And it was for an art project. Let me shut this door. Hold on a second.
Mm-hmm.
And then I changed, and Frank Pisani is who I wrote it with. We changed it for the words to be more about today's crisis, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to read it to you rather than sing it without the music. It's called A Newer Me, all right?
Okay.
Like a newer me, I will rise up, you'll see. Nothing will keep me down. A new purpose I have found. To love life and give love to all people and up above. Now I feel I've wasted so much time, but I believe the coming days will be kind. Why am I smiling? Because God holds our hands. Come join in. We all could sing in the band. Time still left. Start living your encore. Feel so right. From this life, we'll grab much more. Soon there will be smiles and holding hands. The sun will shine once again and we will dance. Like a newer me, I will rise up, you'll see. Nothing will keep me down. A new purpose I have found. To love life and to give love to all people and up above. That's that song. That's that.
No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Thank you. And this one is a light, airy
Oh,
song that I did a film about, and it's in the film. My daughter and I
really?
sing it in the film, and
Mm,
I'll sing it a little bit about. It's about the joy of being transgender and
okay.
being expressed about it. So it's sort of like a pop song.
Okay.
It's called Happy Trans Girl Like Me. Do you want to be a cute, happy trans girl like me? Do you want to be a friendly, loving trans girl like me? Just kissy face, cheek to cheek, BFFs in a selfie. Wear that dress like you love each move your body makes. Love this crazy world. I give it much more than I take. Now that I live as a girl, feel more authentic, not fake. Yes, trans. Yes, trans. Yes, trans. Fran. Yes, trans. Yes, trans. Yes, trans. Yes, yes. Do you know why I smile almost all day long? Do you know why being trans is a gift of song? In perfect time with rhymes so sweet like kisses. Dress up your eyes and show the world of being miss. Be true in this changing world. Trans is the change for you. Your friends love you as you are. Now you can be your own star. Quand je suis féminine. Je me sens en quelque sorte. Mon monde est plus real and entend. On fille trans, on une fille trans. Do you want to be a cute, happy trans girl like me? Do you want to be a friendly, loving trans girl like me? Just kissy face, cheek to cheek, BFFs in a selfie. Wear that dress like you love each move your body makes. Yes, trans. Yes, trans. Yes, trans. Fran. Yes, trans. Yes, trans. Yes, trans. Yes, yes. That's
Okay.
that's happy trans girl like me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I've been writing songs all my life. That's
Oh, really?
all my life. I have many.
Have you recorded?
Well, I've recorded many, and I'll send you some. I'll send. Do I have your I have your email, of course. I'll
Yeah.
send you. I have some of them up on SoundCloud. I have some, produced, polished with music. Sometimes I've written them with the piano. Sometimes I've done them with other people. I co-write them. I like to co-write my songs, with someone else. So I want to hear another, no one's coming on with us today. What's happening?
I don't know.
It's okay.
Maybe they are very busy.
But until they do, why don't you share? Let me see what she is saying. This is probably up your alley, up your lane. Color. color means different things. Different people like different colors. Is that something that you identify with? Like certain people
Mm,
are purple, certain people are green, certain. Do you do that? Because I thought, you with meditation and spirituality.
mhm.
Do you do that? Do you identify with certain colors?
The colors? No, I never. No, I
No?
never. But um, sometimes, there is a spectrum of light, a
Right,
luminance
right.
between one another, and I recognize some people want some light, inner light,
Yeah.
and outside. And, do you know what I mean?
Yes,
It's
yes,
uh, it's about lighting.
I
It's
do. I
about
do know what you mean.
yeah.
And the lighting here is very harsh, that this lighting that I have on my face. It's very red.
The same happened with me
Very
with
red.
this
Oh,
light.
you look good. No, you look good. You look good. So why don't we do a little meditation for right now?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah. Or
So let's do that. And then
sound meditation.
I'd like to hear
Yeah,
more of your songs.
yeah, sure. I can send you some links on the. I have a lot of albums, records,
Oh yeah.
and Bandcamp, and then SoundCloud as well.
Okay.
And I will send it to you.
All right. Good. Good. Very good. Very good. Uh,
So what happened with the other people?
I don't know. I just had a show at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
That was an amazing show. I was going to have an interview of just one person. Her name is Valerie David. She's gotten through cancer 3 times.
Oh.
And she has a one-person show called The Pink Hulk. Hulk, right? The pink one for pink
Uh-huh,
for
uh-huh.
cancer and for female. And then I lucked out. Two of my friends, both entertainers, came on the show and they talked with her too. So the four of us had a very good, very, very good show. So, but I did send out, here's a person right here. This is Pat DeBono, I think. But I sent it out late. So you off your call? Now we have,
Nobody?
you want to call, yes, you want to,
Who do we have here?
this is Umberto.
Oh, Umberto. Yeah,
Hi, Kelly.
Let me get
How you
Pat.
doing?
Hi.
Yeah, we'll end up having several people. So so that show it really went very, very amazing. But I didn't put any effort into calling anyone for today. I mean, I sent it out, the link out, but it was last minute. So is Pat here?
Hi, Pat.
Hi, Pat.
Happy birthday.
Hey, thank you.
you.
Thank you. Yeah, all right. We can
Talk about that.
yeah, and Pat, I saw your email just now about saying that you could have come on the 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
You would have enjoyed that show. I was just telling Umberto, it was an amazing show.
You had people on there?
Yeah, it was an
You had
amazing.
more people on there than that.
This woman, Valerie David, who I met on a Zoom meeting last week, I felt like I knew her for years. She ends up being a really energetic, wonderful person. She went through cancer 3 times. It's in remission. And she tells her story about that survival and battling cancer in a one-person play that she's toured around the world. She's
Really?
done it in Sweden and Norway and a lot of places. And she's done about 25 shows. And
Wow.
she's won a lot of awards with it. It's very, very good. I haven't seen the show yet,
She used her cancer.
Well, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. I was ready to watch it, but before I responded to you, it took me a good 15 or 20 minutes to meditate on whether I wanted to see it because you said the 3-time cancer, and not that I have that kind of difficulties, but I just didn't want to get depressed about sickness in these. I already lost 2 friends. I got another one hanging on with the coronavirus.
Yeah.
I heard about 3 can. I said, can I deal with this?
Oh, all right. I didn't. Yeah, it's weird. I thought of it in complete the opposite.
Like she was
view.
doing a positive.
It was.
I know, but sometimes when you hear these stories,
I know.
you know how it is.
Yeah, I know.
I'll
Sometimes
listen to it.
it's better that you don't. Like, say it could be bad karma, but in her case,
She did the
it
best
was
with
extraordinary
She made the
karma.
best of it.
And so she came on. I made a recording of it, so I'm going to edit the beginning a little bit, and I'm going to send it out to everybody. Watch it. It's like a half an hour. It's really, really amazing because what happens is that last minute, another friend of mine, Anthony Valbiro, who does his own one-person shows, used to be called Our Lady Familia, our family, Italian, and he becomes 16 characters, his own family. He becomes his aunt, his uncle, amazing show. And then he came on, he says, oh, we should ask Jen on. Jennifer Ricci is a friend of his. She's the president of the Harrison Players. Anthony's the director of many plays there. And Jennifer is an actor and stuff. And so I said, oh, yeah, great. Yeah, I didn't think. Let's get Jennifer on because she just recovered from cancer.
Wow.
Really?
So she came on, and it was like the 3 of them are, and Anthony was living as, a heterosexual man, had 2 sons, and he struggled with being gay,
This
in
is
his
the
life.
director?
What?
This is the director?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the director, Anthony Valbiro. You've seen
He's been on the
Anthony.
show. He sang.
He's been
before.
on my show before.
He's been on the Zoom.
Yeah, he sang the song to Kelly for her birthday.
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah, and he, so he was actually suicidal for a while, he said,
Really?
over that fact that he was expected to live as a heterosexual male. He's married with 2 sons and stuff. And then, anyway, so he had his own hard stuff to go through. So, and we all do. So it was really, really turned out to be, and I wasn't, because I didn't really spend any time in setting it up, doing enough research. Usually I like to research the people and everything. But with her, she's kind of like a, you know her, you see her energy. So when I went into the other room to get something, I think I was going to get a drape for behind me or whatever. By the time I came back, Anthony and her were talking and a lot, and I thought they knew each other. So he said, so Anthony says, "Oh, I've known you for so long," and
The joke.
and I said, "How do you know her?" He says, "No, I just met her tonight, but I know her from her karma,
Right.
Not like I
From-
know her.
from just meeting, like sometimes that about, like we all, everyone on this call has always been like that." So anyway, so it turned out really, really well. And now we have another person coming on. Gene DiNapoli is coming on.
Yay, Gene.
And we have as soon as Gene comes on, we have
Hi,
like a
Gene.
special guest that's going to come on. Hi, Gene. How are you?
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing?
Good.
Good.
I can't stay long because I'm doing a podcast for the play I'm in.
Oh, good.
I got to get ready for that, but I wanted to come online and say hello to everybody.
Hi, there's only a few of us.
You and your daughter, the bestest
Aw, sweet.
of happy birthdays.
So sweet.
And you know what? I said something the other day I shouldn't have said.
What?
I said I was going to take your daughter to a wonderful dinner at Castello della Bianco, which is White Castle.
Yeah, right.
I should have extended the invite to you two.
Especially because I love White
That's
Castle.
White
I know.
Castle.
I love
It
White
It
Castle.
was my mistake, and I heard about it from my wife. So once this whole social
I'm gonna go to White
distancing
Castle.
over, we're gonna go full blown.
Full blown White Castle.
All the way, yay! That's
Gene,
Fran's favorite.
I want to even go for an Impossible Burger. If we go there.
You
Go for your lungs. I want
Go for your lungs.
I
Why
want an
not?
Impossible Burger.
Why not?
All right.
That's
Why
your
not?
By the way, Gene, Wally is coming on.
Oh, tonight?
Yeah, tonight he's coming
Apparently.
on. Kelly's gonna
Oh,
call
7:20,
him.
yeah.
Kelly's gonna call him on her FaceTime, so we're gonna bring him
Okay.
on that way.
Oh, good, good.
And he sent me a clip. I got a clip of when what's her name? Her last name is Marisol Castro
Oh, yeah, yeah.
from TV interviewed her. I have a clip of that interview I'm gonna play, and he's gonna share. And I'm gonna see if I have a client that is in not the business of T-shirts or anything, but he's in apparel.
Yeah.
You know, and bed and bath stuff. I'm thinking maybe he could be a spokesperson
Yeah.
for somebody and get like a.
Well, we I
a
don't know why
commission or something.
yeah, he should have told you that we're already working on Mr. Positive's products.
Oh, good.
So you got to understand, Wally has ADT or ADD.
ADD.
He
I was gonna
forgets-
say he's got another version of
yeah,
ADD.
he forgets from 1 second to another.
Okay.
With us. So, you know,
What's the difference?
I told Wally, you just be the talent. Let me be the manager and the business sense,
Good.
and we'll get everything out there. But he forgot it by the time I said it.
Okay. Well, yeah, I throw it out to you that
Yeah,
whatever.
no, hey, get him up there. Get him up there. Hey, Umberto. Umberto, how you doing, bud? How do you get the screen black behind you? How do you get the screen all black?
Does he
Go
understand?
black?
See
No
it
Yeah.
light.
on?
Yeah, it's black behind you.
There's no lighting in this room.
Oh, that's for no
Yeah.
lighting.
So I just have a lamp, and that's
You can put up. Gene, you can put up a virtual background on Zoom if you want.
Yeah, but is it black?
Can you tell me how to do that?
Yeah,
You did
Please?
it before.
yeah. On the Zoom,
Yeah.
you go to the left part of your screen, and there's some arrows there.
Yep.
And if you click the arrow that's closest to the middle on my screen, it says choose virtual background.
It goes on there. The light goes on.
You see that? It's an up arrow.
Yes. Okay. Oh, wow.
Now you
then-
got different choices.
Yeah, but you chose them
So
before.
you could choose none, or you can
None is
choose
what
the
we got.
black.
So none is just black?
No,
let's-
none
No, none is what
well,
you have.
mine doesn't work. My
No,
computer's
none is what
not
you have now. None
Okay,
is,
yeah, it is
none
the
is
black.
your regular.
It's the black.
So how do I get just the, do they have just
Yeah,
colors
get
too
the
or no?
black. I don't know. Let's see.
Do here, choose. Go
Where?
here, go here.
Where?
You
Uh,
can.
There's only 3? No,
It's
there's
on-
more.
oh, here, it's coming up. There's a plus sign, Gene.
Oh, you could choose whatever you want from your
Whoa.
screen, from your
Here.
desktop. If you have any color you want, any background you want from your.
Oh, yeah? Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Hey,
good.
Gene,
Here's a picture
Yeah.
of it again, 2 pictures.
if you want a black background,
Yeah.
you can take a picture that's black, or go on the internet and download any picture that's black and put it on there.
I use that. Okay, great.
You can also, if you want, because the virtual background is not always the best, because sometimes it distorts the way you look. Like there you have the Elvis.
Right.
Okay, that's yes, but you
See what
see,
happens when you move, Gene,
Yeah.
so that you know, you could probably see it.
It's
It
got,
kind of
like
moves,
I got a little,
you
I got
know.
a little bit of a halo.
yeah, right.
Your head gets misshapen and stuff like that.
You
You're
know,
probably better off with just getting like a regular green screen or something, you know.
Got you.
Just
Got
putting
you.
a board behind you,
Yeah.
a black
It-
board.
But
If you-
anyway, this is good that you're in this play is going this. So what are you doing a reading of it?
No, I actually got chosen for this 2 years ago.
Right.
And because of the when I had the nightclub and I had the restaurant, I had to get rid of it, you know, the part. And then when I sold the restaurant, the guy that wrote the play, he's a senator from New Mexico. It's a political play. It bashes everybody. Democrats, Republicans, Independents, and says, let the people take back the government.
Okay.
Like when we started this country. So I started out as a retired person. And then when I came back, they made me the bartender. And then one day, the veteran didn't show up. So they made me the veteran for the day, just so I could read for them. And then they offered me the
They
bar.
liked it. Yeah.
They
Good.
liked it. So it's 10 people of different walks of life, social, economic upbringing, a veteran, a bartender, a college student, an environmentalist, a law student, a teacher.
What happened to the trans woman?
They're gonna write that in. I
You're
told.
gonna write that in. Okay.
You're gonna write that.
So
And CPA.
So that's great. So now what is it that you're doing tonight? You're doing a rehearsal for?
no. Somebody that knows the senator has a podcast on Facebook called J12. His name's Mike DeRita, and he contacted me to ask me if I'd like to go on and talk about the play and my
good.
career. And I said, yeah, okay. So that's what we're doing.
Good. Very good.
Yes.
Sounds good.
The more people you get out there in front of,
Yeah, of course.
the more possibilities you got of work or fans and questions and everything.
Right.
And
Or people that know about
So,
it, yeah.
so can you give us a little, maybe section of, or would that compromise it?
no, why not?
Of
Okay,
your,
so
of your character.
of my character. Okay, so just to give you my character, I play a veteran, and out of everybody in the bar, I'm the only person that went to join the service. So I'm pro-America, and I don't care what anybody else says. It's my way and a highway. And then in the middle of the play, you see me start to become more adapt to everybody else's opinions. Not saying they're right or wrong, but I say, okay, I could see what you mean. I could see what you mean. But now you got to see what I mean. So one of the parts in the play is, let me see if I could pick out a decent part, is where we talk about how Bush sent 50,000 soldiers to die in Iraq, knowing it wouldn't have made a difference. And I get real sullen and real emotional, and I start off at level 10, screaming and yelling, and then it comes down to a -5 when I just shake my minus and I go, 50,000 lost for no reason. Like I get real dramatic.
Wow.
And, the senator, his name's Joe Carrero. He's from New Mexico. And he called me up Sunday. He said, listen, I'm going to tell you this. You do this play, get ready to win a Tony. He said, you are so emotional.
Wow, it's great.
And I called him up 2 weeks ago. I said, Joe, I got to ask you a question. I was never a veteran. So how can I play a veteran? And his answer to me was, you don't look anything like Elvis Presley.
Play Elvis Presley.
And you've been playing Elvis for 40 years. So,
So I know.
so he said, the passion you bring to the part, because I said, listen, I'm not tattooed up. I don't have a short haircut like a lot of veterans do.
Right.
I don't have a body, a builder's body. So how are people going to know I'm a veteran? I don't look the part. He said, we're going to put a USA hat on you and a Desert Storm jacket. Because I told him, I'm not cutting my hair. I'm not cutting my hair. Until I win an award and I make millions of dollars, I still got to do Elvis. So I still got to have my sideburns.
Right.
So he called me up Sunday. And, listen, he might be blowing smoke up my hair. He might not be. But he said, listen,
I bet.
he said, I got a feeling you're going to really take this part to another level. So, with the grace of God and the encouragement from my wife, who allows me to do these things instead of going out to work. I mean, now we can't work, but you're talking about getting into a play where there's no payroll right off the bat.
Yeah, but it's all part. I mean, it's all part of it,
Right.
But
I wouldn't do it.
I saw some of your I saw your acting. I
Right.
told you that your
Well, I
acting
know.
was
Thank you.
really Really
You know, the
good
problem with the
reviews.
reel is it's either one of two characters. It's a street gangster
Right.
or a cop. And in my estimate, a cop is a street gangster with a badge. So I'm really not playing anything that I haven't been brought up with or I'm
Right.
not in tune with. I'm not a veteran. So I think if I do this part well, it'll definitely be something to add to my
Well,
reel.
yeah, and for sure. And I think the classic idea of a veteran is not always, you know, what a veteran is. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
a veteran doesn't has dimensions too. You know,
Yes.
a veteran is a person too. So that'll be great. You're showing like the multi-dimensional personality of the
That's
veteran.
what he said. That's what
Yeah.
he said. So,
That's
you know,
and that it brings another level of understanding and appreciation to veterans, you know,
right.
and them the other way too. So it's really wonderful.
Well, you know, he says we're going to hit the ground running. We're going to be up and running 2 weeks after the ban is lifted. And if we don't do that, we're going to do it on TV. We're going to do it on Bill Maher. We're going to do it on a political TV station. We're going to go to Washington. So the guy, because he's a state senator,
Vinny down at Kingsbridge, you know, Armory.
yes, yeah,
Vinny Pastor has put on a few plays down there.
yes,
And Lou Vituli, who you've been on the show with,
yes,
acted the part of a veteran, you know, who comes back from war, meets up with his old friend he knew in Vietnam, and the two of them had grievances with one another because somebody else, one of their other friends, died as a result of some neglect that one of them had. Anyway, so Vinny's a veteran. He's a Navy veteran. And he could perhaps, for you and for this fellow, open up, you know, to do at least, yeah, a couple of doors about that, you know, and also to do like a stage reading or whatever,
right,
and bring in a couple of hundred veterans, because that's when I went down to see. I think I went down twice. I went down to see that play twice. Once
right.
was in the Armory. There must have been a couple of hundred veterans there that day, and they were listening to this particular. The show was called. What the heck was the name? Strange Snow. That was the play. It'd be actually worthwhile you looking at that play maybe and speaking to Vinny and also Lou Vituli, who played the part, and then there's another guy named Tom Pryor to play the other one, a barber. Right. But anyway, but it would be a good idea to, because there's like some publicity about it too, wherever you put it on.
Sure.
And then you know, Vinny's well connected. He was on the board or whatever, you know, all that stuff, you know.
Yeah, that's definitely great advice. Thank you.
You know, and then the VA, the veterans in Harrison,
yeah,
Anthony Valbiro, who was just on at 5 o'clock,
right?
They do plays there at the VA, at the Veterans Hall in Harrison on Halstead Avenue. There's a stage there.
So put on a veterans
fits
play
about
at the
150. Hall. I mean, it's not Broadway, you know.
It doesn't have to be. You know, you got to do this.
But it's community.
Veterans Hall.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a veterans play.
Right.
And then so there's Harrison, and then in New Rochelle on North Avenue, there's some pretty well connected people that are associated with the VFW, or it's the American Legion or whatever. American Legion over there.
Oh yeah, I know a lot of those. I know those guys from Paulie.
Yes, right. Wally, sorry.
But the play is called Conversations with an Average Joe.
Oh, cool name.
Which is great. And I have the next to last final line. So I'll be a character that people will remember. So I'm looking forward to it.
What'd you just say? Next to last?
Yeah, I'm not the final line. I'm the one right before it. I say, God bless America. God bless you. Thanks for talking Average Joes, and let's move forward with our country. So, it's something that people are going to remember.
Kind Conversations with the average
with
Joe.
an average Joe.
An average Joe.
With the average
What
Joe.
an average Joe.
Average Joe, yeah.
With the or N?
N, A-N.
N. With an average Joe.
Right.
And are they all men? Or-
No,
No.
no. It's a 10-member cast.
Okay.
I think we split down the middle. I think we're 5 men, 5 women. The women are the nurse, the restaurant owner, the law student, the college student, and the reporter.
Great. Let's bring Wally right in now. Stay for 5
I
minutes.
think Wally just called. I don't know what he
Because we told him 7:20.
wants.
Wally, hi.
Hi, it's
how
Kelly
are you?
And Fran.
Hi. Good. How are you? Now, what we're going to do here, you can see me right now. Can you see them?
Yeah, I saw it. Yes.
Yes, you can see. You see Gene?
Let me see Gene.
You see
Yeah,
Gene?
go slowly. I don't want to get scared.
All right.
Ah, shit.
Ah, shit.
All right. Gene, and that is Umberto Alvarez.
Umberto, how you doing? How's everything?
I'm fine. How are you?
Okay. Now 1 second. What I forgot to do, and you forgot to remind me. Hold on a second.
To do live.
Facebook Live. Wow, I can't remember this. Okay. All right, we'll say which. Yeah, recording that, but I wanted it on Facebook Live. All right, Pat, I don't see. All right, Pat may have stepped away for a moment to go to the bathroom. We are getting feedback.
Yeah, because this is near this.
All
Tell
right.
you, you're putting it closer, you're gonna get more feedback.
Okay. All right, let's see how we're gonna do this.
I gotta stand over here.
1 second.
I gotta stand over here.
6:27.
1 second.
Let me get feedback.
Umberto, where are you from?
I live in Mexico
All right.
City. I am Mexican.
How you doing down there? You okay?
I think
It's okay. It's I
we're
mean,
getting feedback here.
I gotta stand over there.
this is a very huge.
What are you
huge,
calling me back on?
24 million people here.
Okay. Why? You think it'll be less feedback, or you got to do something?
So big.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of country.
Nothing to do with
Be
Yes.
careful.
But it's okay. It's okay.
All right, just be careful.
You know,
Be safe.
before Wally's going to call right back.
But it's gonna be the same, because my phone's gonna be near here, so.
I don't know how we're going to do
I
this.
gotta
didn't
have
think this
Wally
through.
over here, another room.
Put Wally in the basement.
You had to have him. But do me a favor. Pick that up. Pick up this computer, Kelly.
We can't have FaceTime on there. There's no FaceTime on the computer.
No, you come in on a different person here. Same thing, right? Same problem.
Yeah, because I have to come on the phone, Dad.
All right.
Again,
All right. I don't know if this is
It's
going to work.
because my phone is near the Zoom.
All right. Hold on a second.
performing artist.
Wait, but I think I assume Umberto phone, but I don't understand. It tells you this, that. I
If
don't
you take the
understand.
link that Fran sent you the link.
Hold on. Let me see. Maybe I could just do it with a lower volume. Hold on a moment. All right. Sorry.
Do you hear me, Jean?
Yes.
Okay. So you are a performing artist.
Yeah, for 40 years, I was only a singer.
I love
And then a couple of
Okay.
years ago, I wound up on TV with a show
this.
about John Gotti, and then I got the acting bug. So I started to do that a little more and more.
What do I'm hearing something?
So you live in New York.
Wally?
Yeah, I'm in the Bronx.
Wally?
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Go for a second.
Hey, Gene,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know what you were talking about, because you were saying that
Now,
you didn't look like a veteran. To me, if I had a guess, I would absolutely
Okay.
say you were a gun-toting veteran.
Well, I'm gun toting, but no, the reason I said that, Pat, is because normally veterans have very short cropped hair.
No, that's not, Gene, that's not true. I mean,
All the
If-
veterans I know, they're muscular, you know,
listen.
they have a certain look about them, a very stern look. So, you know, with the hair, you know, I didn't think I looked like a veteran, but who knows, maybe I could pull it off.
You know what I would do? I mean, I'm an actor myself.
Yes.
I would definitely walk into a restaurant or a bar. Well, you can't do that now, but you know, when you're in, you know, things, and start asking people who's a veteran,
Yeah.
and you'll be very surprised to see.
Oh, okay.
You'll be very surprised to see who's a veteran.
Great.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, you will. You will. I have some transgender friends who were captains in the Air Force. You know what I mean? So it's not always the typical person you conjure up. You know, the Navy SEAL or something. It's not always that person.
Okay.
You know, so and you'll definitely humanize and dismiss whatever impressions people have. You know, like you just make it more accessible, the veteran more accessible and understandable. I think it's great.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I
Thank
think
you.
it's great. And I'm going to introduce you to Jen Ricci, who's here watching. And we just mentioned the Veterans Hall in Harrison. She's the president of the Harrison Players.
Oh, nice.
And they do a number of plays at that location, right across from that church there on Halstead Avenue. And so maybe when there's another play coming up and they have a call for actors and stuff, Jen, this is Gene DiNapoli. You probably have seen Gene someplace, somewhere, performing and stuff. And he's a wonderful actor too. So he's in a play that's called Conversations with an Average Joe. He's playing a veteran. And we were talking about, he was saying that he didn't think he looked the part of a veteran, and the director is saying he's going to do a great job and everything. He's going to maybe enlarge the perception of what a veteran, who a veteran is, you know, and stuff. So anyway, so now Gene has, I'm going to set this up in case he calls back in. Gene has a good friend named Wally, who is his social media. This is an example of social media gone crazy, right? He's called the Mr. Positive. And he's been on Kelly Clarkson's show. He's been on the news. He's been all over. He's had sometimes 40 or 50,000 views of him being interviewed on, or videos he's put up, you know, on the internet, all because he has this very positive attitude about life. And you're going to see it when he comes on. In the meantime, I'm going to see if I could play a video of him. And right now, he was going to also share that he had made a business move to move to another area of the Bronx with his business, and things aren't working out. It was at the wrong time. You know, he has a dry cleaner business, and he was also trying to get into apparel and stuff. And he's hit it wrong, you know, in this last thing. And he's down in his luck right now. So, but he has this tremendous following, and he has this persistence and power. So I'm thinking that I asked him to come on. Gene had, you know, introduced me and stuff to him, to Wally. I spoke to him this morning, asked him to come on to see if there's a way that somebody out there needs to, and they could, Gene is managing him, I understand now.
Well,
they could contact, you know, Wally and Gene and you know, work that out. And then of course they'll throw me a bone, you know, for the intro, whatever. But anyway, so I want to play, I'm going to see if I could do this, share screen, and I should be able to play this video. And this is a video of Marisol Castro interviewing him. And let's see if this plays. Can you see that? Guys, can you see that?
No, I don't see anything.
No, you don't see that. All right. When I say, oh, you know why? Let me see.
No.
Share screen. Share screen. Desktop. Here we go. Desktop. And here we go. Let's see if it works.
You
hear that? You see it? You guys see it?
Yeah.
See it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull it back. I'm gonna pull it back. Was it loud enough?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, so now what I think it's only part of the screen or whatever, but it's the best I can get right now. So I'm gonna start it. I'm gonna try to put the volume a little louder.
I wake up positive every day. The first thing I do is when I wake up, I thank God for giving me this day because I'm very happy. I figure I got one foot out, I'm ready to go. I'm full of positive energy, and I feel that I have to share it with the world.
And we're so thankful that you do share it with the world. You've got your dry cleaning service here. Your backstory is incredible, and I'm going to get into it a little bit later on in the broadcast. But you don't roll alone.
No.
You roll with an army of folks.
It's unbelievable what happened. I did a little commercial to drum up business for my store because I'm very inexpensive. And what happened,
$2 a shirt.
and what happened was positive, because I'm a positive person, people started gravitating to me, and now we have a positive army, okay?
And they are reporting for duty. Positive Army, fall in line, please. We've got the private. Get it?
What happened? No, that's just a little bit of the clip. Well, that was that clip. And then I think Wally sent me something from NBC News. And I'm asking Kelly, did he call you back?
You know,
Wally?
Fran,
Yes.
I know Wally personally for many, many years. And unless a man would let situations get the best of him.
Yeah.
And that's why his story is unique, because I know for a fact that sometimes his back is against the wall. I don't want to say how much of it,
Right.
but he's not a guy that's got a Mercedes and a 4-bedroom apartment that's positive. He's a guy that's struggling.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think that's what makes Wally a very different persona.
Yeah. And and that's what we like to share on this. Let me go back to this gallery screen here so we don't get lost here. That's what we like to share on this show, is stories like this.
Right.
And I lost my full screen. Hold on a second. And that's what attracted me to Wally, and we were earlier today sharing a story about a woman who was a 3-time cancer survivor and had on it a guest who's currently on this Facebook Live with us,
Right.
Jennifer Ricci, who survived cancer and stuff. And so, the people who are survivors are not survivors only one time.
Right.
They've been surviving all their lives. And here we go. Let me see here. I try to get this off of this. Stop and share. Let's see what this is. Okay, here we go. Let's get rid of this. All right, here we go. Now, do you have a regular view?
Yeah.
A regular gallery view again? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for that. All right, so what we want to do is just let's talk about Wally. We're going to have him come back at another time, when the Zoom is better, or when I thought I'd be able to get him on FaceTime. But basically, he's a very magnetic guy, very positive, his positivity is contagious. And the important thing here too, and there's a couple of people in the waiting room, maybe one is him. Important thing too is he has this big following, like a big following, and he met up with a couple of young people, and they have like hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram and stuff like that. So
wanted to add that.
People could. Hi, we have Phil Stern on, just joined us right now, And Phil, we're in the middle of a show. Hang with us for a while, and then we'll introduce you. Hang for a few seconds. We're talking about this. What's Wally's last name, Gene?
Santos.
Santos. Talking about an individual who currently is in the middle of a crisis, a financial crisis, actually, and looking. His business is not operating right now because we're in this coronavirus crisis, and he's trying to put a few things together. But what he has for himself is he has a lot of positivity, and he's attracted many, many people. So he has this incredible following. He could be a good spokesperson for somebody who has a product or service out there.
Yeah.
Yes, Gene had, been talking about that. And so we encourage people who are out there to maybe contact me, and then I'll get you in touch with Gene and with Wally, and then we'll have Wally come back when it's a better hookup with Zoom, and we can have him come back on.
He's like a new Billy May.
Okay.
Fran, I got to bounce.
All right, good.
Okay, bye, Gene.
Peace out, everybody.
Bye.
Peace.
Peace. Good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
All right, very good. Excellent.
Thanks for the advice, Patrick. See you, Umberto.
Okay.
See you.
Kelly.
See you, Jim.
Bye.
Bye. See ya.
Bye.
Always.
Bye. Bye. So Phil Stern just joined the meeting, and Phil, I just see your picture. We don't see your video, so maybe I'm supposed to start your video. Let's see. Ask to start video, and then maybe you could start your video. Can you hear me, Phil?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I see just the ceiling, so you want to put your face in the lens. There we go. We're getting you closer. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to go to Pat. I want to ask Pat something. Pat, we have a case here of a fella, Wally, who said it was okay to share this publicly, that he's in need. We're not looking to raise money for him, but we're looking to raise business connections. Maybe we could actually say like a spiritual prayer, or give him some good blessings, send that his way. But what he really needs is some good business connections so that he could take his huge network of contacts and his ability. I mean, he's not the most fantastic speaker, but at the same time, he's got this charm and positivity about him that even Kelly Clarkson loved and had him on her show. And he's been on NBC, and he's been on various different shows as Mr. Positive. That's how he's known. So there may be somebody out there as a service or a product. Do you have any ideas, Pat? Because we sometimes ask you as the business consultant.
Well, I mean, there's a business coaching or sales advising is not about an idea. Okay, it's about a process. So there's a process we would take him through that would allow him, because he's the one who has the knowledge of where he can go with this. Naturally, I can add some things, but it's not like, do this or do that. We'd have to really look at what he wants to accomplish, what, his connections are. Because this is a man with a great deal of connections. I in the audio business, and I do some voiceovers, but years ago when I was business coaching, before I did voiceovers, there's a company in Greenwich, and they have a big recording studio. But now the home technology with computers is if you can make a little soundproof, you can create your own space at home and do your own voiceovers. So their business was dying. And I sat down with him. He says, my business is dying. People think they can do it on their own, and blah, blah, blah. And we sat down and we went through the process, and we found out that he knew Steven Spielberg. And I don't mean just knew him. I mean, he went to college with Spielberg, and he knew George Lucas.
Wow.
you know, and to the point where he could call and get them to answer the phone. These were friends of his in college. And, you know, and he knew them also, you know, from business. And he's, you know, and he had other contacts that are not household names, that are big Hollywood, you know. And I said, you know, you're living here in Greenwich in isolation, trying to make your business go when you have these massive connections to go outside yourself and open your business to new levels. And we got started on that, and it opened up the whole thing. So, you know, people have inside of them a lot of abilities. Now, this man, Wally, obviously knows a lot of famous people. So where he wants to go and what, you know, is available to him has to come from him. And it's through a process that gets revealed, not an idea.
Okay, I mean, that's a very good point. That's a very good point. So let's possibly to start that process along. When Wally contacts me tomorrow, probably it'll be tomorrow, then instead of just bringing him on the next show like that and basically throwing it up in the air as far as what ideas there are, what contacts there could be, maybe we'll set up a meeting, you know, with you, right? And or we can set up like a private, not a private, but not a secretive type thing, but a close quarters, you know, like Zoom meeting, you know, with Wally, and we can really, you can get a better feel for him and see if maybe you can help develop that process, you know, and then along the way, maybe some of these ideas that Gene may have been thinking about for him, or that I was thinking about in the branding end of it, could be incorporated or something.
You know, I got to tell you, as I was talking about this, I'm thinking I got to give that guy a call back if he knows Spielberg, you know, from an acting perspective.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah, you do your own work. Yeah, right. Yeah, follow your own advice, type of thing. Right. Now, what I would like to do is Umberto has. You know, he's done it before with us. He's led us in a meditation. And before we do the meditation, I want to mention that a person who's been on this show a number of times, Lily Nin, lost her father yesterday. Not to COVID-19, but he died. And he died in the home.
Old age, right?
Not really old age. His heart. He had some heart problems, and he came home. He was in the hospital. He got better. Came home. He walked into the house, and she said he collapsed like what was her analogy? Rubber bands, like a pile of rubber bands or something. He just fell down to the floor. And she said a few things to him. She thinks he heard her, but then he died. And so I said to her that we would say a prayer for her. And I wanted to, because we have done that for other people who have passed. And I wanted to lead that prayer. And then I'd like to meditate on her situation, being led by Umberto and maybe even by Pat. And we'll see if, Philip, you have something to offer, because I know you've lost your mom not too long ago and may have some feelings that you want to share for Lily. If you hold on a second, hold this a second, Kelly, right up here. I want to go right up there. I want to go there's a series of prayers that a priest lent me that are to be said at the time that a person dies. Hold on. Okay. All right. You can get up. All right. I want you to focus it on there, not on the comments on the screen. Okay. Oh, here they are. Oh, good. Good. Maybe you could read one and I could read one. All right. These are from the Book of Common Prayer. Jenny Talley is the pastor and priest, Episcopal Church near us, St. John's Episcopal Church that Kelly attends every Sunday. Kelly does readings there. She's on the choir and takes Bible class there and is very active there. I used to be more active than I am now. So this is at the time of death. So it was yesterday. Well, we're not there now, but I want to read it as if we were there with him. Maybe he had the last rites. Maybe he's been read this. I don't even know. But anyway, this is from us. A commentatory prayer. Into your hands, O merciful Savior, we commend your servant, Fernando. Acknowledge, we humbly beseech you, a sheep of your own fold, a lamb of your own flock, a sinner of your own redeeming. Receive him into your arms of your mercy, into the blessed rest of everlasting peace, and into the glorious company of the saints in light. Amen. May his soul and all the souls of all the departed through the mercy of God rest in peace. Amen. And Laura, Kelly, if you would
seeing which ones are important. Anything else?
I want you to lead us in an Our Father. Now, this Philip, I know you're Jewish, but you can maybe identify with this prayer being a prayer about a relationship with God, you know, and it not being as specific Christian prayer, say. But anyway, let's go ahead, Kelly. Lead us with this prayer.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Deliver with earth as
Give
it
us
is
this
in
day
our daily bread, and deliver us.
and give us. Okay.
I'm doing it.
All right, you're doing it. We'll do it together.
Our Father,
Who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done,
on earth
as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Amen.
And what's the last word the Episcopals do? To the ages and ages and something like that.
Right. All right, so thank you very much. Lily, our hearts go out to you and your mom and your brother and your two daughters and your grandchildren and everyone in your family about your father's passing. And our hearts go out to everyone who has lost someone. Everyone on this call has lost someone dear to them before and also in the last several weeks. And please, dear Lord, be kind and help people through this crisis. And hopefully it'll lift at some point. Umberto, would you like to lead us
Sure.
in a meditation?
Yeah, sure.
Then
Pleasure.
Close out. I don't know where Philip went. But hold on, let me just see if I could just bring him back in for a second. Here he is. He's coming back in.
Okay, hi Philip again.
Philip, do you hear it? He's
muted.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, you hear me? Okay. I just see your finger on the I think it's your finger. Maybe it's your leg. I see something.
The camera.
Okay, in front of the camera. But anyway, Umberto's gonna lead us in some meditation at this point, and then maybe Pat will after that. We'll see. Okay, go ahead, Umberto.
Okay. Okay. The only thing we need is to have our back straight. Put your back straight in a comfortable place, a sofa or any, to be comfortable. So this will have an intention in this meditation. We will use our voice, toning and humming. I would show you. And this intention is about our health with your mind, body, and spirit. The three, these three important aspects of the being, our self. Okay? So put your back straight and close your eyes and focus on this intention, my good health. The earth, all living beings on earth with good health, with happiness, and start to breathe. I can feel the earth inside of me moving. This is a very nice energy. The earth inside of me moving, giving me peace and giving me, well, a good health. So, with my lips a little bit open, I will do a toning. Once again. I out good once again. I can feel very peaceful. So I can do it now with my lips closed. It's like to spell the M letter. M. See? Just do it. Inhale and then slowly, very deep inside of me. Once again, inhale and once again, inhale.
Can't hold it. I can hold it. You sure did.
Once again. I can feel inside my heart with my Let's do it once again.
Good.
All right. So
Feels good. Your sound is going in and out.
I can exactly.
Great.
So this vibration, you can feel it on the top of your head and in the front, in the eyes,
Technology seems
the
to be
nose, the lips, the mouth, the throat, the chest, your heart, your stomach as well, your belly button, and your sex. You can feel it. You can recognize it. This vibration.
Yeah.
It's still there.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. It's very, very deep and
I was
I
your voice is going in and out and you're not moving, right? I don't know, maybe something with
It's not as clear. Pat's clear.
Yeah, I just got disconnected from Zoom and then got reconnected.
suggest to do this.
Spot you.
When do you suggest we do it?
In the morning or before bed, right?
Umberto, we're not hearing you. When should we do it?
Okay. I suggest to do
Fading away.
Yeah,
this meditation daily.
Daily. Okay.
Early in the morning.
You know, maybe I
Early
could.
in the morning.
I'm thinking maybe I could combine that with.
So you wake up.
We had
Find a place in your
because we had April Brucker on.
You're welcome.
Were you on the? Thank you very much. That was beautiful. Were you on the show when we had April Brucker with her puppet?
Yes, she's.
Were you on the show that?
No, he
Yeah, I was on.
Pat was on, yeah.
We had on a ventriloquist. So I was thinking that, you know, I could I was just trying to practice, you know, like not moving our lips and doing that like this.
That's like a meditation.
So I could do the ventriloquism at the same time on
I feel it's over at 8 o'clock.
Don't combine it.
No, this is beautiful and it's very valuable to be able to focus like that and
quiet your mind.
Yeah, and quiet your mind.
Yeah, you quiet your mind, and you know this works with our imagination. The imagination is very powerful because we project our imagination through our thoughts and feelings.
Yeah.
Does make sense to you?
Yes, absolutely. Very good. Thanks so much and Pat, did you have something you wanted to add? Thank you, Umberto. Thanks very much for that. And I will
You're welcome.
Do that each day, and I'll think of you each day. Pat, do you have something from a meditation?
The thing about
close it out.
The thing about meditation is that it's not, mutually exclusive. It's cumulative. So, what Umberto teaches is phenomenal. And when you're trying to get rid of an ego, you come at it from multiple directions. If you want, I could show you a very powerful technique. It's called the yes technique. This is a technique that you use to discharge negative emotions. If you're feeling fear, if you have resistance, if you're feeling lonely, sad, you can discharge those feelings. It's also very, very powerful for pain. And I can tell you that a few years ago, I was lying in bed. I had such constant pain, nerve pain, that I didn't know how to deal with it. And I was almost praying to die. And in doing this technique, like a light switch, the pain completely went away.
Wow.
And, when you love something, there is no pain. Pain comes from the disapproval of the condition. So as you let the disapproval go, the pain turns into sensation. And the way I can describe this, have you ever been in a hotel or motel where they used to have those vibrating beds, and you put a quarter in, and all of a sudden, all the pain, like a light switch, went away, and my whole body was vibrating. And I said, I don't want the feeling to go away. So I went from praying to die, you know, this is not going to get better. I'm not going on narcotics, you know, what am I going to do? How am I going to live? To saying, geez, don't stop. So, you know, it's a very simple technique. I can give it to you quickly. And if you want, we can do that.
Okay,
All right,
yes,
yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
So, you know, the idea of this technique is to get in touch with how you're feeling, to bring up a feeling, positive or negative. If you're feeling sad or frightened, or if someone just passed. And then we want to rate that on a scale of 0 to 10, with 10 being the most frightened or the most worried. So it's everybody's individually to deal this. So if you just say to yourself on a scale of 0 to 10, with 10 being the most fear, pain, or whatever you have, just take your gut feel for where that is. It might be a 5, it might be a 7, it might be a 1. And then we're going to, through this technique, we're going to reduce that level of that feeling. So if it's fear, as your fear is a 7, then we want to say, fear, do you want to leave? I give you permission to leave. Ask the fear if it wants to leave. And this is something you do yourself. So you just kind of say to yourself silently, fear, do you want to leave? And you should get an answer, more than likely, that the fear wants to leave. All feelings want to escape, like fireworks. They want to come out of your body and leave, you know. And then, so then we want to go to, and again, this is the first time we're doing this, so it takes a little practice. Then you want to say, fear, I give you permission to leave. I say yes to you. And I say yes again. And I say yes again. And fear, I give you permission to leave. I say yes to you. And I say yes to you again. And again, I say yes. And on a scale now of 0 to 10, rate the amount of fear you have. And as you practice in this, you'll find that the fear goes down, let's say from a 7 to a 5 or to a 2. And then I might go back and I might say, fear, I ask you again, do you want to leave? And take the answer you get. Maybe it wants to leave, maybe it doesn't, but I say yes to you, I give you permission to leave, and I say yes. And can I say yes again? And I say yes. And I say, fear, I love you. I absolutely love you. I love you whether you leave, and I love you whether you stay. I just love you unconditionally. And I say yes to you as I embrace you and give you the love to leave. And that's basically the technique. Now, we've done this only for a very short time, and it's the first time we're doing it. But the message I want to give to you is that love is the answer to every problem in the universe. And the trick is, the problem is that when you get very serious pain, like when I was in hospital in surgery, and I felt like they were sticking a knife through me, it gets very hard to love the pain, because but if you can love it, it can go. Now, I got to admit, in the hospital, I had to use an acting technique. Only gave me a little bit of relief for a few minutes. I was not successful. But I am telling you that this simple technique, the object of it, I'm going to end with this, is to get in touch with the feeling you have. Whatever it is can be discharged, even if it's loneliness, uncertainty. Just practice the technique.
Could it actually be like,
yes. Pat,
does it have to be an emotion,
very
like
powerful.
fear, anxiety, or loneliness, or happiness?
Anything.
And it could be like, I feel upset about the situation I'm in, or anything.
Right. Exactly.
Wait a minute. I feel mad at someone or anything.
Could be
frustrated with someone.
Yes technique.
Anything. Okay.
And what's it called? The S technique?
No, yes.
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 Yes. Because you're saying yes. I don't know if people could hear me. You're saying yes to it. You want to give
the pain,
yes
accepting and letting it bring it in.
I'll give you one quick statement. Just a basic practice in logic. And I would ask Fran, what is the only way right now for Fran Sisco that you can eliminate every problem in your life?
What is the only thing that will do it?
No. Okay, what right now, tell me in one statement how you could end every problem in your life.
I can't.
Okay. The word is don't disapprove of anything. That if you don't, a problem, something is a problem only if you don't disapprove of it. So if you end disapproval, you have no problems. The difficulty is the mind is always trying to disapprove of everything around it. And so when we love everything, we end disapproval and all the problems go away. And I'm telling you, it works. I don't want to go on and on.
I could see that.
When you see the positive and embrace something, when you embrace something that hurts you, then it might go away.
I think that might be, perhaps, that's the reason why some people medicate themselves or use drugs or alcohol, is to get more peace with what their problem is. All it does is suffocate it or cover it up, and it doesn't really address it. But it's almost like being in bed with that problem.
Well, that's exactly right. You want to move. Another technique, I'm not going to do it now, is to get closer to it. It's the famous line from The Godfather. Vito Corleone said, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. So you want to move closer to your problems and bring them into your life and love them, and they dissipate.
And accept them. Yeah, accept them. And you know what? I think in this part of my life, I am getting to better accept them. I always try to eliminate them, or, it's sort of like images with a hose and napalm or water trying to douse them out constantly, in battle with them. But they're part of my life, it's like how I deal with the problem that, and I think for all of us, it's how you deal with it. And
so you allow the bad thing, you embrace the bad thing to help it go away.
Yeah,
you embrace the bad thing, and then once you embrace or accept it and learn to deal with it, accepting, then you're dealing with it, and then it subsides in your life, the bad thing, because you have embraced it. So instead of fighting it, you embrace the pain, embrace the bad thing, don't fight it, and then it starts to go away, right? You gotta love the pain, love the problem.
I'll give you an example.
There's no truer words than what Kelly just said.
That's right, yeah. I understood, yeah.
She's very, very smart.
No, I understood.
She's very smart. And she's very wise, and I see.
Because if we keep pushing anything away, right, does it make it any better? Pushing it away doesn't mean that it necessarily goes away, does it?
I'll give you one.
Does it go away if you just push it away?
No.
That's
I'll give you one quick example. Maybe this doesn't appeal to the discussion right now, but all my life I struggled with my gender. That I always felt like I had a gender problem. That I didn't identify as a man all the time. Nor did I really identify as a female. I was sort of I was
in the middle.
I was gender non-conforming, as the slogan says. And it was only until I accepted that in myself, that's who I am. And by accepting and bringing that in and making it part of my life, it opened up my entire life.
So it relates to that.
And it opened up my entire life. Because up until then, I wasn't good enough. And I could never, no matter how well I did something as a man, I couldn't do it. I could do it better. I could always do it better than I was doing it. And I couldn't be a full, obviously a traditional woman, with all the, because wasn't me either. So in this middle state of being transgender, I found a lot of peace in my own life. And I think many people who are also, and it doesn't have to be someone who's transgender, it could be somebody who is okay with being heavier, stature, or somebody who is OCD and a collector, maybe it's okay if you don't have to solve every problem. You could become bedfellows, so to speak, and accept, because by accepting it, you're accepting yourself, I don't know if that was an example
by
where
accepting it, it might help it to
Well,
transfer.
that was the exact idea of the yes technique, and the other technique is you encapsulated it.
Yeah.
The idea is to bring yourself closer to it, to love it, to accept it.
Yeah, to love, right.
And the more you want to get rid of something, the more it stays.
Right, exactly. Exactly. So it's just when I finally said, I have to accept myself full-time as a female before I accept myself as a person. When I made that decision and went full-time female and told the world that was who I was, and it wasn't that I was that for 5 minutes or an hour or whatever, I was going to be that all the time. I'm this person. When I started doing that, I started doing stand-up comedy as a way to not only say it in close company, but say it to the world. So I started on stages talking about my own situation. And by doing that, I liberated myself. And I think in the end, I made it easier for the people around me.
You didn't make it easy. You also made it easier, not only for other people to understand it, but for yourself to accept it by saying it out loud.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was able for yourself to also accept it more.
So if
by broadcasting it, right?
You're absolutely right, Kelly. So if there's a message, I know there's plenty of messages in what you delivered, and Umberto and what you brought us through, and Pat, thank you very much too.
Hold the M's longer.
Is my own particular example, and we all have wonderful example. My own particular example is better out than in, better being as fully expressed as possible, and not necessarily always seeking approval, but just be yourself and be as fully expressed. And it comes naturally. Some people, for me, it wasn't coming naturally. It took me many years to come.
I think it came more naturally to you than you think, because some people, when they come out little inch by inch. You kind of came out full force.
Well,
I got
another strategy that some people
you
could
came
use.
out like he's more.
Go all the way.
You didn't have like a hard, really. Well, it's hard, but it wasn't like as inch by inch as some people.
So I really thank you very much. I'm hoping that this maybe can help somebody out there who's feeling like they don't have really many options or avenues or alternatives, and they're feeling maybe even more isolated, and they're feeling limited in their opportunities. All it really comes down to is be yourself and be expressed about it, and being, like Pat said, being like okay about it, and like Kelly, and being in love it,
If you can love pain.
If you can love, get okay with it, Anyway, life is easier than it looks. All right. Well, anyway, thank you so much
Thank you for the small group tonight.
Thank you.
And their contributions.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. And Philip, I guess we're not seeing you, guys. But maybe we're hearing you. PJ, I saw PJ Landers came in and out for a minute. Maybe it wasn't a good connection. But everyone who also is watching us on Facebook Live, I see Joe is on there, Barbara, and Frank, and Lester, and Gloria, and Jen, everyone else that has been watching too. Thanks very much. And please look for the recording of these shows for whatever you may have missed. There's going to be a show tomorrow too at noon. All right, from noon to 1, if you can make it. All right, it's okay if there's 20 people. It's okay if there's 4. Everything is fine. All right, and look for the recording of today's this afternoon show at 5 o'clock when we interviewed Valerie David about her one-woman show called The Pink Hulk and her battle and survival through 3 bouts of cancer, and the lessons for all of us.
Hey, Fran.
All right, thank you very much.
Good night.
And Anthony
Good night.
Valvero and Jennifer Ricci were on that show with me, and it was really a wonderful show with Valerie. All right, bye. Good night,
You're
Pat.
repeating things.
Good night,
Goodbye, good night.
Umberto. Good night, Kelly.
Umberto, take
Good
care.
night, everyone.
Kelly.
Good
Kelly.
night.
Happy birthday, Kelly.
But I want to say another happy birthday. Happy
We-
birthday to Grandpa in heaven.
Oh,
Grandpa
yeah.
Sisco, Frank Sisco Sr., we called him Buddy. And his birthday is April 30th,
Right.
and that's around the corner.
And there's
April
some other
30th.
birthdays of friends, Terry Vitale and
Papa's
Katrina Micio and
Papa in
Megan
heaven, April
Johnson,
30th.
Victoria Corbo. There was a lot of April
Papa
birthdays.
in heaven, I
of
gotta
friends.
say.
And my father.
Happy birthday, Papa in heaven.
My father.
Happy birthday.
Great.
Happy
All right.
birthday.
And my cousin Joe on the 18th. All right. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye, Umberto.
Bye, Patrick.